Hi, in this video I will be talking about networks in our daily lives and what does that actually mean. We'll also be looking at how interconnected our lives actually are. So I want to start off by kind of showing this video, and that'll get us started with thinking about what all this means. So watch the video and then I will continue from there.
Welcome. Welcome to a brand new day. A new way of getting things done. Welcome to a place where maps are rewritten and remote villages are included. A place where body language is business language. Where people subscribe to people, not magazines. And the team you follow now follows you. Welcome to a place where books rewrite themselves. Where you can drag and drop people wherever they want to go. And a phone doubles as a train ticket, plane ticket, or lift ticket. Welcome to a place where a wedding is captured and recaptured again and again. Where a home video is experienced everywhere at once. Where a library travels across the world. Where businesses are born, countries are transformed, and we're more powerful together than we ever could be apart. Welcome to the Human Network.
Okay, so take a second to think about what that video means, why they're showing you what they're showing you, and at least to me it means that we're all some way somehow now connected because of the technology that we use. As a networking student, you gotta think not only as what this stuff means to networks, but you also gotta think about what it means to what is called the human network. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is that there is no reason to have a computer network if you're not going to first establish a human network, because that's the whole reason for actually even building any of these networks. So if we look at how technology has evolved, okay, if we just take a snapshot in from 1995, some of you may or may not have been born by that time, but that is around when things kind of started kicking in. And excuse me. So if you take that timeline and you look across just to the year 2000, 2011, you can see there's been a really sharp increase, and technology has basically doubled even the time that the amount that it takes for the technology to double in has also been cut in half. So for example, it used to take a couple years for something to really improve, and nowadays it takes maybe about 6 months before something is way more improved. And every time that we go further into technology, the time just cuts in half. So pretty soon you may start seeing brand new phones pretty much every month. That's actually a possibility, and that's because of the way the trend is, the way things are going on this scale. So you can expect much more access to networks, much more devices, more improved devices, and a lot more jobs actually in technology, because everything is just increasing. It's not really decreasing. We're at the very beginning of technology, if you want to think about it that way. Okay, so at the same time you got to think about what that means, because the more you connect people, then the shorter the distances get. I don't have to tell you that nowadays if you wanted to, you could talk to someone across the world, Not a problem, very easy to do. So we have to start thinking about what it means to make all these connections and how it affects everything you do in every single way. So, take a second. I'll pause right here. But think about this question. It's a very good question, actually. How has the human network affected you? Now, notice it says the human network. Okay, so think about that for a second. So besides that, networks affecting the way we communicate with people, I mean, they are involved in everything we do. So for example, virtual classrooms, kind of like what I'm doing right now. This is basically a virtual classroom. I'm sitting at home right now behind my computer and recording this for you in case you missed it or you were absent. That has to do with the ability to have networks. We also use networks for collaborating and learning spaces. As you guys go on into college or even the workplace, you're going to have to collaborate with other people. So there's lots of systems out there that we'll be looking at, that you'll be exploring, that have to do with collaborating and learning spaces. Canvas itself, this website that we use, Netacad, this is a collaborative learning space as well. Okay, on-demand video, that's huge. I don't have to rattle off the websites that you know to get video from, but again, it's all because of networks, right? Mobile learning, it's possible for you to do this entire course on a tablet or on a phone if you had to. And again, that's because networks are making their way more and more into the way we do things. So let's watch this video real quick. It's about exploring the classroom again a little bit more, about some of the changes and new technologies that are available to us because of networks.
Do you remember sitting in a classroom like this? Like this? Do you remember when it was all about classrooms? Do you remember when you couldn't watch a lecture at Peking University on your iPod? When you couldn't download problem sets on your cell phone and troubleshoot them in a chat room with grad students in 3 countries? World's changed. You don't have to be in school anymore to take a class. You don't have to be in a classroom to have a teacher. You don't have to be under 30 to feel like you've got a whole lot left to learn. Your job, your world, might demand that you constantly keep learning. Learning might be something you keep doing all your life, because school might be something that always goes with you, right there, anytime, anywhere. That dynamic, networked flux of knowledge and teaching that's happening all around you, in the cloud, on the web, on your phone. So you could say, it's not about the classroom anymore. Or you could turn all that around and say, the classroom just got a whole lot bigger.
So part of being a Cisco Networking Academy student is to think not just big, but think bigger. You need to think worldwide, on a worldwide scale. How do you do things in one place, but then how can you also make that happen halfway or all the way around the world? So that is what the real definition of networking is. It's basically making connections, and it's not always a network connection. It could also be a people connection, the human network part of it. So we're going to be doing some exercises in communication and learning about the way we talk and communicate with each other. So networks are basically there to support the way we communicate. They're not the main way we communicate. Humans already have been communicating for a long time, but they support the way we do it. So things like instant messaging, social media, collaboration tools, Those are all just things that have come about or made easier to use because of networks. Okay, so things like weblogs, wikis, podcasting, peer-to-peer networks for file sharing. Those are all just kind of like tools that we have came up with to use our networks in a better way. Okay, so think about this for a second. What other sites or tools do you use to share your thoughts? And this is an important question because it will lead into your next assignment. Okay, networks also support the way we work. Obviously, there's almost no workplace you can go to without having to use some kind of technology, some kind of computer. And again, because businesses really depend on communication. So you got to think about it in those terms as well. So not just for fun, not just for personal communication, but also for business. And that's where you get to make your money in business. Okay, so again, networks are for play as well. So, some people use them for gaming, online entertainment, interest groups, shopping, all of that good stuff. But that would not have come about unless we would have started creating these networks. And there would be no reason for these networks if there wasn't that human piece behind it. So again, think about it. How do you play on the internet?